Hi, you eager achievers. It's Dr. M here, coming to you with a two-part series on different websites that parents have asked me about over the last couple of weeks regarding if their child is struggling with e-learning in the upcoming weeks when school starts. How do they help them with learning new material or supplemental material on the side? If you are like most people, you can't afford to hire someone like myself who will help your child through that. So here are some websites that I have found that I think are really amazing and great. So let's start with the presentation here. If you like my material that I talk about each week, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will keep providing you with these wonderful videos that hopefully are helping everyone, and we'll go from there. So we're going to cover over the next couple of weeks 6 subjects. This week we're going to cover math, reading, grammar, and spelling vocab. Next week we're going to tackle the history and geography, science, and other category for like soft skills and languages, coding, that kind of thing. And I'll give 3 websites for each subject. But I thought as I was going through this presentation, I realized how much detail you could go into and how many websites you can go into. So I decided to split it up into 2 different sections. So this week, again, we'll cover math, reading, spelling, all that jazz. And then next week, we'll tackle history, science, and soft skills, languages, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Math is probably the most asked subject when people are asking me for tutoring services. Math is my least skill that I have, eh, as far as different academics go. So this first website, I actually use myself to get myself caught up, especially if it's like senior math or, like advanced math. I will actually go to Khan Academy myself and kind of brush up on my own skills. So Khan Academy, these 3 websites that I'm giving you are not actually coming from me. They're recommended by the department chair at Ivy Tech Community College of Math. Her name is Professor Champion, and these are her favorites that she gives to her college students, because some of her college students have very low math skills, or her ELL students need math skills in English. So these were recommended by her. And again, I use Khan Academy, and then I also use Purple Math a lot with my tutoring clients. So Khan Academy offers practice exercises, instructional videos, personalized learning dashboards that help kids study at their own pace. So what I like about this is if your skill is at an 8th grade level, then it takes you through those modules and those kind of games and practices, and then it like moves you up to the next level. So it increases those skills for math for those students. So other subject areas that I am proficient at when I'm tutoring students or giving private teaching lessons to clients, they have science, math, computing history, art history, economics, and others. They also have test prep, which is really cool for SATs, Praxis, which is the one of the tests that like teachers have to take to become licensed in their state. And then they have LSATs, which is a really difficult test as well. And then they focus on skill mastery to help learners establish strong foundation, so there's no limit to what they can learn next. So this is like, that's why I said it's pre-K plus for grades, pre-K plus, because it doesn't matter what level you're at, you can just continually expand. So one area, especially like when you first get onto this website here, they'll ask you for a donation. You don't have to donate, or you can. But anyway, this little spot here is for the little ones who are learning counting. But this is like an example of how far um, in below it can go and how far in advance it can go. So you can do like counting with small numbers. And so like if you click on the counting with small numbers, it will load up a little lesson, and you can kind of go through and do numbers 0 to 120, or um, whatever your skill set is. You can like skip through different ones too. Um, and then it has this cool little skill summary on the side. And then it will like move on from there. So it gives you like this instructional video first, and then you do like a little um, practice, and then you move on. So that's kind of how like Khan Academy works. So it has this little video here that it's going to show the kids. So I'll just leave that up there while we're going through the rest of them. Okay, so math by fives. I want to talk about math by fives. This one is like a composition of a bunch of videos that this teacher kind of posted on the web for parents and for struggling math learners. This is for grades 3 and up. So this teacher even has information for dyslexic students. Kudos to him, because there's not a lot out there that helps with those students with dyslexia and math. So I thought that was really cool to look at. So you simply look up the skill that your child is struggling with, and they can watch the videos on it. And then you could give them supplemental material to give them worksheets or different math problems that will help them improve their scores. So he has everything from operations with decimals to statistics. Um, and if anybody has taken a statistics class, man, kudos to you, because in my dissertation process, I had to have a tutor myself for statistics because that was crazy. So here's math by fives. So here's an example. You've got your skills that you want to do: algebra, trigonometry, calculus. So there's different categories here. And then he's kind of a quirky guy, so the kids like him. And I like that he uses a physical whiteboard and kind of walks through the different math pieces. So I really like his way of teaching. And if a student is not familiar with something, he kind of helps them through that. So he's a little quirky, but I like him. And you can do reduced fractions is what this video is about. And but there's tons of stuff on here: differential equations and algebra, trigonometry, statistics, blah blah blah. Show me your flowers. Those are kind of different things that students can interact with him as well. So, and again, these are all free, so use them to your advantage. The next one we're going to talk about is Purple Math. And I'll have that loading while I talk about it. These free lessons are cross-referenced to help you find related material. And the search box on every page is available to help you find whatever math content you're looking for. There are freebies to print out. And I love that part for parents because they can have additional materials that their kids can practice with. Um, your they even have study skills quiz. Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, the study skill quiz on there. A lot of times parents think it's up to the teacher to teach study skills quiz or study skills, and that's not always the case. If you have a homeroom, they may be learning that stuff, but there just isn't enough time in the day in the traditional classroom to teach those kind of things. I tried to incorporate those type of study skills when I was teaching in a classroom with our daily assignments. So we'd take like 5 minutes and do some of those things. But they even have this little quiz in here to help assess what your kids' study skills are. If they are not up to par with study skills, then we need to look at some soft skill development for them at home for e-learning, especially because it's kind of self-directed, unless you're a parent who's able to be home, which is not usually the case. So in Purple Math, you can take notes in the margins and then do the flip side of the sheet too. And it's all online, so they can kind of go back to it if they're more advanced. So here is what Purple Math looks like. So this is a little bit more wordy. So it's going to have to take a little bit of a higher level of math for a student to do this. So you certainly wouldn't want to have a second grader do this. So I recommend this for grades 5 through 12. But they have videos here, factoring numbers, prime factorization. They give like little lessons here, easy ways of keeping track of the factorization to do upside down division. And so they kind of teach different ways of learning to your child. So if they didn't get it from e-learning from their teacher, they might be able to get it in a different way, because as you can see, they have it like this and they do this. So it's different ways, modalities of learning. And then there's a Mathway little cheat sheet. I highly recommend that they don't use this, because this is really cheating. Like, they don't learn it this way exactly. But if like the kid can't really understand that problem or whatever, they can literally put it in there, and the teacher on Mathway can kind of give them a heads up of how to factor that and all that stuff. So that's kind of Purple Math in a nutshell. Again, they have different subjects that they can look up, your child can look up to be able to understand the material better. And that's what this presentation is all about, is understanding different material better and in a different way, because e-learning doesn't always offer the full effect of being in a classroom, because you're not right there next to the teacher asking for help as needed. Well, and sometimes you are. Like, sometimes the teachers are going to be doing synchronous learning, which is ideal. But just in case, we've got some reading and grammar websites to go over. I'm going to click on this to have it loading while I'm talking about it. So this one is the Reading Vine, and this is recommended for K through 12. Helps students to improve reading skills with free personalized reading skills practice. They search for an area that they're struggling with, for example, compare and contrast, or character traits, context clues. So whatever your child's lesson is for that week for this subject, they can kind of type it in and come up with an additional lesson. So here they have a little lesson on the top about context clues, and then different types of context clues. They can click on this, and they can read excerpts of the Civil War or Greek mythology and find out what context clues will help them with understanding the material. So this one is a really cool website to go to. There isn't a whole lot for K through 3rd grade. It's more so for junior high and high school, but there are some elementary areas in here that will help them. So they have like rhythm and rhyme, story elements, summaries, symbolism, theme, all that's in here in one cool little place. As a parent or a child, you do have to register in order to get some of the full features, but again, it's free. So the next one I like to talk about is Reading Rockets. This is really for K through 3rd, offering information and resources on how young kids provide young kids learn, why so many of them struggle, and provide tools that can help them. Everything from reading comprehension to context clues for the little ones. So 2 tips that I like to give parents. I have a specialty license in reading and literacy, and I've given multiple workshops at the different schools on pre-K reading and things like that, and response intervention and differentiated reading skills and whatnot. The 2 most prevalent things I can tell a parent to do is, 1, read to your kids every day. Read to them every day. If you have a routine, which I've talked about in previous videos, then it should be part of that routine to have a certain set number of books that you read every night to them. If they're little, if they want to continue reading, or if they're antsy, you can say, okay, you can have 10 more minutes to read to your dinosaurs or read to your babies or blah, blah, blah. It's really kind of cute to watch them actually do that and listen to them, because they will make up cool stories when they're not understanding the word recognition or letter recognition yet. So even at as early as age 3, I remember my daughter doing that, reading to her babies and stuff like that. And my nephew would read to his cars and trucks. So that was really cute. But the second thing I can give parents a tip on for early childhood development reading is to put those like cards. You can literally handwrite them or print them off, but little cards that label everything in the house. So like if it's a door, then you put Sally's bedroom door, or toilet. You literally put toilet, sink, refrigerator. And every time that you come across them, or as much as you can, point it out. Oh, we're gonna go to Sally's bedroom door and open it and like point out to the different words. It helps with them with reading acuity, letter recognition, word recognition, and some research says, well, that's not really reading, it's just memorization. Who cares? Whatever it is, they learn that skill and they start applying it. My daughter was reading by the time she was 4. And then by the time she was 9, she was reading at the sophomore level chapter books, which in itself is a little bit scary, because then you have to really monitor what they're reading, because of their age and their skill level aren't matching up. They're far beyond. So I do believe that every child can learn in that capacity. I really do believe it. It's just a matter of what skills we can give them. But I digress. So yeah, Reading Rockets. They offer information and resources on how young kids learn to read. And I already said that part, I think. So yeah, so this one helps with all kinds of things. So like they have these different games that you can create or come up with, and they do have some printables there. But these are super easy for K through 3rd grade. So this is that early childhood development that needs to happen in their brain, and it comes into play with their fine motor skills, even so that later on they can write properly. So this one is a really cool website to go through and kind of check out and help them. So the PBS show that they have on there is really cool too. Fun stuff, blogs, they have their own videos. It's a neat one. Chomp Chomp, love this one. This is super simple. So this provides weekly grammar workouts on Twitter, terms, definitions, grammatical quizzes, etc. There are also handouts that parents can print off, from irregular verbs to identifying fragments. And there's plenty of stuff for your child to do on here. So this one if you like read the passage below your mouse to choose blah blah blah, use your mouse to choose the part that is a fragment. So you just click on something and then it'll be like, no grammar fame for you, the part you picked was not a fragment. I like it. It does that little cute thing. So then you can go back and try it again, and be like, okay, maybe it's this one because it doesn't have a subject. Yay, we got it. So this is super simple and has different subject areas to kind of go through. Let me see here. Where are we? We're gonna go to spelling and vocab is next. Woo! Now when I was graduating with my undergrad, I started to do differentiated instruction workshops for other teachers. And one of my favorite ones was when I created these vocab worksheets that had like a circle in the middle with the vocab term, and then there's 4 corners on each side, and one is different. Each corner can be differentiated to your child's needs. So if they can put that word in a sentence, then you wouldn't want to ask them to put it in a sentence. If they're having struggles with definitions, you want them to have one of those 4 corners around that circle to have their own definition, not a Webster's dictionary definition or something they looked up online, but in their own words. Because if they are not putting it in their own words, they're not retaining it. So some other things that I would have on that worksheet, and I can create them for my clients out there as needed. You can do Greek root words. You can have a drawing. You could have synonyms. You could have antonyms. Anything you want, you can put in those 4 areas. That's a little tip there from Dr. M. If your child is struggling with vocab, because a lot of times it's not really that they can't memorize it, it's they can't retain it, so then they can't remember it as well. If they don't retain the information, they're just going to forget it the minute they have a test. Free rice. Oh, this is an oldie but a goodie. I mean, I think this has been around for like 20 years or so. But this is a game where kids answer questions based on the meaning of words. Advertisements appear on the screen, and when they do, it kind of pops up and triggers a financial payment to the World Food Program. And so this supports the work that they're doing, but also providing a free game for your kids. So here is an example. It says the battle means, well, is it woods? Is it fight? Is it movie? Is it rug? Well, that's a synonym. So they're learning synonyms here. So if you click on that and they click on fight, then they're able to click on it. So, and in here, if they click on the wrong one, they can see that they made a mistake and that they give the right one here. So here it says grains of rice donated yesterday, over 2 billion, blah, blah, blah. So that's a really cool one to use. Then we've got PBS Kids. And I'm running a little slower here because of my internet access, I believe. But the PBS Kids is good for like K through 3rd grade. The free rice will build upon your skill level, kind of like Khan Academy with math. But PBS Kids is really more for that early childhood development through 3rd grade. So this is several different games on the website for little ones. They have everything from spelling play to making words with Clifford. There are also rhyming games, vocab Spanish games. So for that other category that we're going to click on next week, this might be a good one for your little ones for Spanish. There's even an area where you can create a game that is personalized to your child. So that one is kind of neat. So here we have a game that they can play. They have different ones. So if they're not really into princesses, then they can choose a different one. But I think all of the games that I've gone through on this website are really fun and bright colors. And again, they're all free for your kids to do. So you do have to sign up with them, which is, I think, is fine, because not only do they have games, but they have videos and all that kind of stuff too. So, and so here she is introducing herself, blah, blah, blah. And then we choose uppercase or lowercase. Oh my. Yeah, so then they create words and spelling. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of PBS Kids in a nutshell. So now we're going to go to room recess. So this is free learning games that are fun, teaching important skills that are vital to elementary students, reinforcing fundamental learning concepts in math, reading, spelling, language, arts, typing. I love that one, the typing one, because really by the time they're first or second grade, you should be doing basic typing skills as well. This is a basic game, but I think it's simple and short and sweet and to the point. Students don't have to sign in or anything. They just load up the activity and go from there. So this one is context clues. So use clues from the sentence to find the missing word. It's raining outside, so you'll probably need a dog. Let's see if dog works. Nope, it doesn't work. We'll need a umbrella. So yeah, so that's kind of how it works until you're all out of words. The sun is so bright. So those are kind of the different spelling and vocab websites. So as a recap, we covered 9 websites today, 3 in math, 3 for reading and grammar, and 3 for spelling and vocab. Next week, I'm going to go over history and geography websites, science, and then another category of like soft skills. We're going to do a coding one and then different languages. So that's a kind of heads up about next week. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you liked what you saw. If you need help in any tutoring services, don't hesitate to contact me. Please send me your emails. Keep them coming. I love that you're sending me messages on Facebook and Twitter and on LinkedIn and all of that jazz and asking, hey, I'm having trouble with this. Then that's how I create my YouTube videos for you so that you can soak up and skill up. So this is Dr. Mansfield saying goodbye, and I hope that you enjoyed the presentation for today.